real as it ever gets. Shout out Aquaman and in the Flash too. Shout out Virgo King, he the man too. Yeah, shout out E-Man, fuck it damn too. Hey, it's Jody's corner. Yeah, hey, it's Jody's corner. Yeah, it's Jody's corner. It's the place where you wanna be.
Hey, YouTube, what is good? It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. I'm Jody Joe. Thank you guys so very much for being here. This is crazy news coming out of Silicon Valley. This might be disturbing to some of y'all. This is going to be polarizing to say the least. Let's go ahead and get into it. Apple will reportedly scan your iPhone and detect imagery in your iPhone and your iCloud and look for photos of child abuse. So then it can set you up, throw you in jail. What? Yeah, if this is to be true, then yes, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. They're going to scan your library for iCloud and your freaking phone to detect images of child abuse. Apple plans to scan photos stored on iPhones and iCloud for child abuse imagery. The new system could help law enforcement in criminal investigations, but may open the door to increased legal and government demands for user data. The system, called NeuralMatch, will proactively alert a team of human reviewers if it believes illegal imagery is detected, who would then contact the law enforcement if the material can be verified. NeuralMatch, which was trained using 200,000 images of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, will roll out first in the United States. Photos will be hashed and compared with a database of known images of sexual abuse. This is a quote from them. According to people briefed on the plans, every photo uploaded to iCloud in the United States will be given a safety voucher, saying whether it is suspect or not, the Financial Times has said. Once a certain number of photos are marked as suspect, Apple will enable all the suspect photos to be decrypted and, if apparently illegal, passed on to the relevant authorities. Johns Hopkins University professor and cryptographer Matthew Green raised concerns about the system on Twitter, saying Wednesday night this sort of tool can be a boon for finding child pornography in people's phones. But imagine what it could do in the hands of an authoritarian government. Authoritarian government. Even if you believe Apple won't use these tools to be misused, or cross the fingers that there's still a lot to be concerned about these systems, rely on a database of problematic media hashes that you as a consumer can't review. Basically what they're saying is, hey, don't worry. We're not going to invade your privacy. We're not going to look at all of your other images and try to depict if you sell drugs or not, if you run a dope house, if you're scamming, if you want some illegal. This is a Minority Report sheet. Don't listen to what they're saying. We're just looking for sexual abuse photos. And don't worry, our accuracy is 99.99%. We got this on lock, y'all. Us here at Apple, we're going to be looking at every single phone you upload. Say you're at an amusement park and you see a kid with a Grimly face on, and maybe it misidentifies a child who's crying, who's having a tantrum, who gets, let's say, a parent who decides to whoop their child, and somehow that's caught on photo, somehow video, Instagram Live, whatever it is, snapshot, and then it gets uploaded to the cloud or in a phone, and they identify and detect that, and they send the cops to your door. Oh, no, don't worry about stuff like that. The technology is actually booming. The technology actually works to the point where it will never mistake a situation in the household for child abuse. It's always on point. She. Got me effed up. I understand how, first of all, this is good news because the intention behind it is to catch people who are child abusers, is to find and locate missing people. And I'm all for that because a lot of our kids are getting snatched up off the streets and God knows what is happening to them. I mean, when you look at child trafficking, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's sickening. That I understand, and I'm all for that. But by these methods of you being able to of a phone company being able to look at all my images, which lets you know if they're looking for child abuse images, they're looking at all of your images. That means they're looking at wedding photos, they're looking at your cockpits, they're looking at your sex videos, they're looking at your personal documents, they're looking at your maybe some life insurance, maybe you took we snap photos of very obscure things. And Apple will be able to see all that shit. And if it's triggered, it's going to be sent to a team. And a team will be looking at all of your shit. This is a absolute invasion of privacy, bro. Even though it's for the greater good as far as intent, all this is doing is opening up the door to controlling and manipulating society, just like this doctor from this college talked about. An authoritarian government. Imagine what they would do with something like this, where they have the ability to access. And since Apple's going to launch this, who's to stop the government from putting an executive order telling and demanding Apple, you need to give us that technology. You need to give us this technology that you call NeuralMatch, and we need that in order to pinpoint certain targets that we deem necessary. Bro, this is like Zola's algorithm from the Winter Soldier, bro. This shit is dangerous. I'm not for it. But Jody, wait a minute. You're not for the child abuse and getting child abusers? We have other methods of law enforcement for that. We have detectives, we have cops, we have search teams. We have the stuff that's already in place in order to try to catch those type of offenders. Now, does it work all that great? Could it be better? Yes, it could be better. But that's what we've been using for hundreds of years. And I don't believe that this is the way to fix this shit, bro. I really don't. Because after what Snowden put out with how the government, Verizon, AT&T has been spying on customers and stuff like that, and what the government knows by hacking into our phones and accessing our webcams on our laptops and our phones, this type of stuff is already in the government's hands, I believe. But if you had the ability to access every iPhone on the planet and look into the photos, videos, and even the iCloud of these accounts, bro, that is, no one man should have all that power. Clock's ticking, I'm just counting the hours. It's one of those type of situations. I'm not cool with that, man. That's some scary shit. According to people briefed on the plans, every photo uploaded to iCloud will be given a safety voucher. Right. The company informed U.S. academics about it this week, and Apple may share more about the system as soon as this week, according to two security researchers who were briefed on Apple's earlier meeting. Apple has previously touted the privacy protections built into its devices and famously stood up to the FBI. Do we remember this when the FBI demanded Apple unlock a phone that would help them in their investigation? And Apple had this big, huge thing in the news where no, privacy is of paramount to us. That person's iPhone is securely locked because that's what they paid for when they bought an Apple product. But then here you are with this algorithm that's going to allow people to look into phones, and you expect us to just believe that because you did this and you stood up against the FBI, which is not technically the full power of the government, that we're just supposed to trust you and believe that Apple is being transparent here? Do you guys honestly believe that Apple is doing this solely with the ability, solely with the determination to try to catch child abusers? I figured you could catch full-on other criminals too with this technology. You could catch fishers, scammers. You could catch white-collar crime. You could catch fraudulence. You could catch these fools with the fake PPPs and all this shit. You could catch so much drug dealers, traffickers. What's to stop at child abuse? You know what I'm saying? Do you believe Apple has full intention on only going after child abusers? Do you trust that Apple is out here telling the truth to us consumers out here?
Bye.
Bye. Mommy, Frisky was stuck in a tree. This man swooped out of the sky and gave him to me.
Haven't I told you to stop telling lies?
Nah. Stop telling lies, Apple. I'm not for anybody doing this. No matter what company it is, I feel like our privacy is our privacy. I feel like we have a right to it, regardless of what your intention is. We already have methods in place to catch criminals. Let's just roll with that and let the court system and the judicial system do it as it's been doing. This extra Minority Report futuristic type of shit is not good, because once you open the door and they put their foot in for the first time, they're going to barge that motherfucker up and come with the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You give a mouse a cookie, they're going to want a glass of milk. I'm not for this, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Does this change your perspective on Apple? If you know that Apple's going to be looking at all of your photos in the near future, checking for child abuse, do you want an Apple phone? You consider switching? You guys for this technology? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Subscribe to Jody's Corner. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing. Deuces. Remember, we bringing that 100% authentic at all times. We may not agree. We may disagree a lot. But one thing you can count on me with Jody's Corner is I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm going to keep it 100% honest, and you can trust that I'm telling the truth. Subscribe.